Come here. Here, 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 here. Sit. Anyway, right, this is, excuse me just one moment. This is for the starter who's probably watching at home, and I know after last year's fiasco of the Grand National, which runs tomorrow, you are probably very nervous and sitting up late, not able to sleep. So here we are, we're going to run through what you have to do. Okay, up to the, what you do is you get them up to the bit of string, up to the line, up to the line. Come on now, please, jockeys, come on, up, whoa, whoa, back, back, back. And you try and get them all in. We've only got one. We're a small budget show. So come back up to the line. Come up to the line. And when I raise my clipboard, then you have to flick it up, OK? And this is... Yeah, you flick it up. Is it flick it up or down?
Up.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Otherwise the horse would trip up, wouldn't it?
OK, and when I do that, then the titles will start. So, are we ready? OK, are you ready? You ready? No. Don't break anything, will you? Here we go. Right.
Up, Joey.
Hup! Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, you're too kind. Now, but we have a very, OK, you all right? Yeah. Good, fine.
No problem.
Get a shot of him in the glasses up there, and let's make sure we keep our eye on him. Thank you. Now, back over here, a very tight programme tonight, so we'll crack on, shall we? Let's go to the map first of all. Thank you. Danny is modelling the map, and very nice. Shall we get into the light over here? That's good. And a letter that came here from Brian Champion, and we thought that the name Champion was quite good, from Rye. And he says, finally, could you give the part of the world a plug that I come from? It's called Rye, and it seems to live about 40 years behind the rest of the country. It's near Hastings, it's on the south coast of England, and nobody has really heard of it. So we've tried to find it. Apologies to the south of Ireland, which is here, by the way, but we couldn't afford the map, which went in there. So Rye, for those of you who wanted to know, is here. Dear, in East... Yes, Michael Mansfield, I know it's in East Sussex. Where did I say it was? Didn't I say it was in East Sussex? I thought I did, but it's here. It's this area here, round here, in there somewhere. So that's Rye. Anybody who is watching television at this time of night in Rye should be ashamed of themselves, because it's not the sort of thing that you do. So the whole programme tonight dedicated to you. Thank you very much indeed. See you later, Danny. Thank you. Right. No, this way. Fine. Move. Move! Oh, we've got a clue for the Grand National, have we? Have we got a clue for the Grand National? Was there somewhere in there or not? No. Where is it? Where? Is it in here? It's not in there at all. It's sweaty. Could we move this out, please? Could you... Would you like to... Oh, is it... Oh, there! It's out of the... Ugh! It's out of the nose. OK, the Grand National... from the horse is, it's 8-1 Master Oats with Kim somebody or other. It's all chewed up at the end. It's Kim Bailey. It's 8-1 at the moment in horse number 3. So that's, is that it? Fine. OK, give the horse a nice round of applause and then maybe it'll leave. Good. Good, 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 good. Right, let's get back to the programme tonight. I'm always amazed we managed to get this on. Right, the competition. Now, your chance to win a holiday for 2 people in some far-flung sunny clime. First of all, Sharon Garner from Knutsford in Cheshire. Well done, Sharon. You win a holiday for 2 people to Mallorca. And we'll be in touch with you fairly soon to tell you more about that. This week, you could be off 2 people to the island of Kos. All you have to do is answer this one fairly difficult, not that difficult, but quite difficult question. Tomorrow... or later today, actually, which famous horse race meeting will be taking place? I don't know why I even allow myself to be embarrassed by this. OK, the Grand National, the Derby, or the Cheltenham Gold Cup? Your 3 choices, 0891 900 007. Give that number a ring any time until midnight on Sunday. Because, oh, I wanted to do that for a long time. Because the Grand National is being run tomorrow, all the cameramen have decided they wanted to take part in this. Have you got...
I got one.
Where is it?
Well,
What is
I've
it?
memorised it.
What is it?
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
I don't
told
think...
me.
Mr. Ed told you.
He's gonna win, yeah.
Oh, that's a fun. Cue laughter! Very good. Okay, now welcome right down here in the front. This is Brian Holter, as in horses, yeah. And this is Brian's charming wife. Now, Brian has a very interesting story to tell. Brian has actually got a cat. Well, tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Well, a couple of years ago, I was in the betting shops which I worked.
Yes.
If you have to picture it, there's about 6 televisions where all the racing and dog racing comes in. And one day the door pushed open, and the cat walked in, jumped on top of the table, watched the first dog race, the hare running, and jumped down off the table and went up through the door. And this happened every day for a week. And then one day it came in and decided to stop for the afternoon. And it got to enjoy the horse racing. And it came in every day after that. Mm. Anyway, obviously after a bit, all the people in the shop enjoyed its company and started bringing biscuits in, little tidbits for it, stroking it, and it was with us forever. And after a bit, it started putting its paws on winners.
Uh-huh.
And
let me just. So it went into the betting shop, got the form out of the back of the newspaper,
jumped up, yes,
and started putting its paw on
the winners, on the horses,
yes, of course,
yes,
yeah.
and the dogs,
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. Yep.
and the dogs.
Yes.
Now then, if you were a cat lover,
Yeah.
and you got a pen to write a horse out, and it was going to lose,
Sure.
you'd jump up on the table and knock the pen out your hand.
It would.
And this went on and on and on. Anyway, it picked out about 10 horses which all won. So its fame grew in England, but it grew faster in America. And it done 100 broadcasts from coast to coast on all the radio stations in America. And I'm not joking. It done over 100, coast to coast. It done the American...
No, never mind. Go on. Right. Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never been able to spoke properly.
No, right.
It done all these broadcasts. Anyway, it ended up doing the lottery in America. It drew the lottery. It drew the 9 numbers for the American State Lottery.
Yeah.
And the funny part about it was it drew number 9 first, which is just by the way.
Is this horse still alive? I mean, the cat. The cat's still alive. No.
No, it isn't
No.
actually.
It's dead.
But when it was alive, it became famous. In fact, it was in a Bath betting shop, and when the tourist bus goes through Bath now, it got so famous in America after all these broadcasts that they say this is the Baths in Bath, this is the Abbey, that is Barney's betting shop. And they actually stop outside the betting shop to show all the American tourists.
Now, Brian, this cat now, although it's up in the great cat litter in the sky,
yes,
this actually does give you tips, doesn't it?
It started to come
for
back
the
again.
Grand National. Could you give us one? I've got to move on.
Come back for the Grand National now, and it's just...
And what does it say?
It just said, Into the Red.
Into the Red.
From Topsham Bay.
Yeah.
And that came on last night at 3:30 a.m.
Into the Red.
That's all it said. Into the Red.
We'll check it with you later. Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian. Baz, we'll sit down. OK, now, our...
Did the horse leave anything for my garden?
No, hopefully not.
Oh, OK.
But if it did, you can go and get it.
I normally shovel up. We've got horses who pass my house, and I like to sort of...
You normally shovel it up when they...
Shovel up, yeah, because, you know, for the garden. It's good for the
Ladies and gentlemen, Baz Bamming Boy! Enough. Watch the front. Has my light come on here at the moment? Has my light? Good, fine, lovely. Right, I don't know. Now, I wanted to ask you a very important question. Yes. If only because you said when we were coming in earlier on, you said, ask me about sirens, so I wanted to get it right. Baz, what is all this I hear about sirens?
Sirens, stars.
They don't know what sirens are.
It's a film, by the way. It's a film about kind of Norman Lindsay, who was a famous Australian sort of painter at the turn of the century. Very famous and very big in Australia, you understand. I understand if you don't know him here. Anyway, Ellie Macpherson, who you probably do know, is an Australian model. She's about to appear sort of in Playboy magazine with all her clothes on. This is her film debut.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of Ellie Macpherson because she is one of Norman Lindsay's sort of models. And he sort of liked nude models. And you see a lot of Ellie Macpherson and Tara Fitzgerald and several other models. and you see a lot of Hugh Grant with his clothes on. Hugh Grant is an English actor who is becoming a big star, by the way.
This is a Baz Bamming prediction.
Big major
star. Big major
Big
star.
major star. Anyway, this is a film to watch out for. Sirens, Eddie McPherson, Ty Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
Hugh Grant. And there's another very funny movie called The Paper with Michael Keaton, who plays Batman, but he doesn't play Batman in this.
No,
he
no,
plays,
no.
a
He
sort
plays
of-
another character.
He plays
because
a
he's
news
an actor, isn't he? And that's what actors do.
Some people call him an actor,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
He plays an editor in this film with Glenn Close. And there's one scene when they're at a news conference, and the crusty old editor, played by Robert Duvall, smokes cigars and cigarettes, and a guy comes in who's sort of a health freak and says, hey, listen, Mac, there's been nicotine in my urine. And Robert Duvall says, well, keep your dick out of my ashtray.
Oh, dear, that's tasteless.
I thought it was funny at the
You
time.
thought it was funny?
I thought it was very funny.
Oh, dear.
I thought it was
Would you
very
write
funny.
that
I'm
in
just
your
a humble
column?
boy from Surrey.
Did you
know,
write
like-
that? Did you write that? It was a very hot day in Surrey when you were born, wasn't it?
I couldn't
Well,
write it. I could not write. And I couldn't use that word in Daily Mail.
Could you
no.
not? The Daily Mail wouldn't allow you.
Well, I think I'd have to think of another word for the.
I'm upset
a
about
member.
that.
I mean, it's a family newspaper. You can't. Look, I mean, I can't even mention all the names one can use for that particular organ on this show, could I?
Willie would have been fine.
Willie?
Anyway, I don't know.
Willie? I don't know. Or
Tip for
won't
the
he?
Grand National.
Oh, hang on.
Tip for the Grand National before we go.
Okay, tip for the Grand National.
My tip is coming up fairly soon, too.
Zita's Lad, written
Yes.
by Robbie Supple.
That's yours, is it?
Absolutely.
Well done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Baz Bamming Boy! Okay. Baz, where are you going?
Oh, do you want me here?
Well, I just want you to sit there while I introduce the band, okay?
Oh, okay,
Fine, that's
sorry.
lovely. Right, now these are, again, new to TV. They've come all the way down from Leeds. We're very happy to see them on the show tonight from Leeds. They're called Emotional Hooligan. They've never been seen on television before. This is their debut, and this is their song. It's called Time Waster!
What you wasting my time for? What you wasting my time for? What you wasting my time for? I'm not wasting yours. Don't want you taking no chances. Don't want you telling no lies. Don't want you talking to strangers or talking to spies. You came to the promise. You wasted my time. You came to the promise. You changed your mind, you came to the promise. You wasted my time, you came to the promise. You changed your mind. Don't want you part of my system. Don't want you part of my thing. Don't want you part of my life. No, you do my head in. Don't need no broken promise. Don't need no stab in the back. Don't need no trial and torment, no time on the rack. Came to the promise, you wasted my time. You came to the promise, you changed your mind. You came to the promise, you wasted my time. You came to the promise, you changed your mind. What you wasting my time for? What you wasting my time for? What you wasting my time for? I'm not wasting yours. Don't want you part of my system. Don't want you part of my thing. Don't want you part of my life. No, you do my head in. You came to the promise. You wasted my time. You came to the promise. You changed my mind, you came to promise. You wasted my time, you came to promise. You changed your mind. Why wasting my time? Why you wasting my time? Why you wasting my time? Why you wasting my time? What you wasting my time for? What you wasting my time for? What you wasting my time for? I'm not wasting yours. Don't want you part of my system. Don't want you part of my thing. Don't want you part of my life. Don't you do my head in. You keep the promise up. You keep the promise up. You keep the promise up. You're wasting my time. You keep the promise up. You keep the promise up. You keep the promise up. You're wasting my time.
Thank you, guys. Emotional hooligan and time waster. We'll have more from them a little later on. Before the break, oh, by the way, the end of the programme tonight, a brand new game show to TV called Grin and Bear It. You'll enjoy that. First, your chance to win that holiday for two people for 1 week on the island of Kos. The island of Kos, OK? Difficult. What is the name of the race, the horse race, that takes place later today? Very well known. Is it A, the Grand National, B, the Derby, or C, the Cheltenham Gold Cup? 0891 900 007 will win you or give you a chance of winning that fabulous holiday. Come back and join us again for part 2 of the programme after the break. Very good. Right, there we are. Is that good? These are the whales. It's a very nice shot. Do you like that? Isn't that a lovely shot? Yes, it's very nice. Yeah. Track. Come through the whales as if we're coming through the sea. That's, oh, yes. Okay, get on with it. Right, now, after last... That's okay. Go and stand over there. Right, after last week's programme, we are, of course, over the next couple of weeks, I think we've got another 4 weeks to go, including this week, looking at the situation as regards the whales. And we're promoting a film that will be seen in its entirety on ITV called The Last Whale. I think what we'll do, we'll start with a clip from the film, and then I'll be talking to Alison Ross from Greenpeace. So before I say anything, you have a look at this first of all.
In the Antarctica, based upon scientific committee's report, scientific evidence of the International Whaling Commission, there are 760,000 minke whales, among which scientists calculated that on a sustainable basis, 2,000 to 4,000 minke whales annually could be harvestable.
The scientists say it's theoretically possible to do this. But in practice, I don't think it can be kept under control. When the catches go from 200 a year up to 2,000 a year, and in a few years they'll be up to 10,000 a year, the market is wide open. There'll be pirate whalers as well as Japanese whalers, sneaking ships, seeking whales at sea, out of sight. You know, the Antarctic's a long way from prying eyes. There's very little surveillance. And not only that, not only I think will more minke whales get killed than the scientists say is sustainable, but the pirates will kill what's left of the bigger whales. There are only a few hundred blue whales left in the sea. You've only got to kill 2 or 3 every time you go down there, and the blue whales will go completely.
Now, Alison Ross is with me. Alison is from Greenpeace. And first, I need to know, I suppose, Alison, are you just a sort of office member of Greenpeace, or have you actually been out there?
Well, I'm a campaigner, which means I do all sorts. I talk about whales, but I also go out and help try to protect them physically as well. I wasn't in that particular activity, but I have been involved in actions to protect the whales.
What sort of things have you done?
Well, last year we did an action against Norway when they announced they were going to continue, well, they were going to restart their commercial whaling against the global ban there is on commercial whaling.
They haven't started yet, have they?
They did. They started last summer.
They started last summer?
That's right. And so before they went out, we actually went up there to the north of Norway, to the Lofoten Islands, where it's the heart of their whaling industry. And we found where the whaling ships were, and a group of women, in fact, 9 women went, and we chained ourselves to the whalers.
Why in that clip did the people who threw themselves in just on the bow wave of that ship, why did they not get killed? Or did they?
Well, they didn't, no. I mean, obviously, our volunteers are prepared to put themselves at risk, but all those activities are very carefully planned and calculated, so we don't cause unnecessary risk. But obviously, our volunteers are prepared to go out and do what's necessary to save the whales.
Now, we saw in the film, apparently, I should say, actually, that we have asked Norway and we have asked Japan to take part in this programme, and they are, I'm glad to say, considering it, and we hope in a few weeks they will be here with us. We heard in that clip that they reckon there are 760,000 minke whales around. Well, first of all, I don't understand how they can know that.
Well, it's obviously very, very difficult to make population estimates of whales. They're incredibly difficult to count. But the important thing is, although there are more minke whales than the other types of whales around, the only reason for that is because they're the smallest of the great whales. And up until now, it's just not been worth their while to kill the minkies because they've been going for the bigger whales. But now, because all the other whales, the blue whales, the humpbacks, the right whales, they've all been depleted so far that they're way beyond, it's not worth catching them anymore. They're too hard to find. So now they're turning on the minke whales, which are the last ones left in any reasonable numbers.
Why couldn't Greenpeace, with all the power that you have, perhaps get one of these satellites to keep an eye on the whales around the world's oceans, and you would know if anybody was whaling, surely?
Well, that would be an impossible task to do practically, but as we've seen, it's a very, very difficult industry. It's impossible to stop people who want to go out whaling once they're sanctioned to do it. We had information on the Soviet Union's whaling. There was no one knew the scale had been going on, and that's why it's so important that the ban is kept in place, and the areas like Antarctica are just kept as sanctuaries where the whales are safe.
How do you? I have to ask you this, Alison. How do you defend yourselves when people say, "Look, Greenpeace are just a lot of loonies. They're rushing around. They got some money, throwing themselves in front of ships. They don't even know really the extent of the problem or not, as the case may be. They don't even talk about it seriously. They won't talk about it seriously."
Oh, well, we do talk about it very, very seriously, and I think a lot more seriously than the people who are promoting whaling, because what we're trying to put across to the public and to governments is it's not just a matter of counting how many whales you can or can't catch. Whales are subjected to all sorts of different threats that most governments, like the pro-whaling governments, don't take into consideration at all. The whales in Antarctica, they're now sort of being threatened by whalers who want to restart wholesale slaughter of industry down there, but they're also being threatened by pollution, by the destruction of the ozone layer, by global warming and all these other things that are actually threatening them as well.
If people really want to go back to whaling, Alison, then there's not a lot you can do, is there? Because the oceans are so vast.
Well, that's one of the reasons why it's very important that the ban on whaling is kept in place, and that areas like Antarctica, where you can't possibly monitor or regulate whaling, are actually kept free of whaling, that there is no whaling actually allowed, and that really is the only way you could control it.
What about my last point to you on this, and of course we're doing this every week, and we're going to actually talk to somebody from Iceland. Iceland is a country that has stopped whaling a little later. What about the Faroe Islands? I mean, they have this mass slaughter every year, don't they? I think of pilot whales, which is very publicly known. What could be done to stop that?
Well, that unfortunately, it's a different type of activity. It's not regulated by the same body in the same way as the commercial whaling we're looking at.
That doesn't bother Greenpeace, does it? I mean, you'll go steaming in there, won't you, and sort of...
That's right. I mean, we are opposed to the slaughter of whales wherever it happens on a commercial level. And so, yes, I mean, there's all sorts of pressure, both political pressure, but also consumer pressure and others. And Norwegians equally are whaling at the moment, and we, at the moment, have a consumer boycott against them, which we hope will not just inform their public to put pressure on their government, but will also put direct pressure on the government through their commercial interests.
Great. Alison, come back and talk to us again before the end of this short series, will you?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Alison Ross from Greenpeace. Whoa. What about a tip for the Grand National? Anybody got a tip for the Grand National? Do you have one, Jerry?
Yes, I have.
Do you have one? Do you want to be user-friendly, Tory MP, actually concerned for the environment for a change?
Of course I'm concerned. I'm in the Department of the Environment.
I know you are. And what are you going to do in the Department of the Environment?
Double silk.
Double silk.
Double silk.
What do you...
Back double silk.
Yes, I could hold that throughout the interview. Do you like? That's a lovely shot. You and the
really?
whales. Yes. Are you concerned? Are you?
Andrew Neil just watched.
Are you doing anything? Are you doing
love
anything
it,
to help the whales? Or
Yes,
not?
we are. Actually.
What do you do?
Alison will know that we are very much against whaling. We're doing everything we possibly
know you're
can to
against
stop it.
but-
Oh no! We. Why do you think John Gummer? And don't answer this because I know what you're
Yes,
going
go
to say.
on.
which will be
No.
very rude.
I think John's a
Why
lovely
do you
man.
think John Gummer
Yeah.
was called
looks
the Norwegian equivalent of a shitbag, which is appalling, by the Norwegian foreign minister? That's what was said. It's been printed in family newspapers.
He did.
Yes, appalling because he's against
Really?
whaling. We're all against whaling, and we're doing what we can.
But it is a problem.
Oh, it's a terrible problem. It's appalling. I agree with Tony Banks.
Right. Oh,
Yes.
good. Fine. Can I lose that now? Okay, fine.
lose that
What I did want to know, and obviously everybody else watching really wants to know, how much longer is... It's like this, Jack. It's for the quiz show later. How much longer is John Major going to be at number 10? And is there any chance you may take over?
I don't think there's any chance I'll take over. I had half an hour with him the other day, actually. He came down to
Did you?
Essex.
Did you
Essex
mention
man.
my name to him?
Of course I did.
Did
He
you
said,
say-
how is James? I want to be on his show. We didn't
Good.
quite say that. But
Yes, go on.
he thinks about it. No, I just think you get about 3 headbanger members of Parliament, like Tony Marlowe and Nicky Fairbairn, and I can't remember who the other one
I'm sure
was.
they're terribly nice people. I'm not going to have you insulting these
Of course
poor men. They're not here to
terribly
defend
nice
themselves.
people. I mean, you know, if air miles were given for vanity and disloyalty, Tony Marlowe would be the first man on Mars, wouldn't he? But no, I think it's quite appalling. The poor man's trying to do.
yourself in there with the Prime Minister.
No,
Yeah.
but he's an old chum. He was my whip. I know him well. I think it's disgraceful the way he's being treated. I mean, he is the spittoon for the angst of the country at the moment. And for these people just to constantly attack. And for the so-called Tory press to constantly attack him. Everything he does. He comes to Essex, everyone says it's a disgrace.
Okay.
If he didn't come
Ask
to Essex,
if he's
he'd
a
be in his
good
bunker.
guy, ask
Yeah.
him to come on the show next week and help out with one of our little, little things.
I
all right?
think he'd find it
ask
difficult.
Ask him to come
I
on.
think he'd find
One
it
last
difficult.
question before we go.
Go on.
Into this camera. Which is your camera? This one over here.
one over
right,
here.
over here. Just explain in about 15 seconds,
Okay.
and you can answer next week more fully.
Okay.
What is a quango?
We don't have quangos anymore. We have, we have direct government organisations, which are exactly the same thing. But I'll explain next week. Over to
We
James.
don't have a
We call it something different. We
Oh,
call it
right,
something
okay,
different.
fine.
They help run the country.
Next week, Quangos. They
Oh,
take
that's right.
25% of the money we pay
Don't
in
believe
tax.
a word of it. Money well spent.
Ladies and gentlemen, another track now from Emotional... What?
Nah.
Oh, no, she was telling me what the title of the...
Hooligan.
She said to me, Mental Institute, and I suddenly look at the audience and think...
Mental Institute.
And we weren't talking about Jerry Hayes either. Ladies and gentlemen, Emotional Hooligan and Mental Institute.
Weapons made for killing, hospitals shut down. Talking politicians of the catalysts are clowns. Arguments at tables, factions never learn. Storming Normans on the throne, still just simply burn. Splitting atoms, making war just to take a life. Soldiers marching off to war, another widow wife. Oh, eagles die where eagles dare. Time to face the facts. Letting people fight the foe, make them pay the tax. Mental Institute. Mental Institute. Go fight your world war. Forget about the youth. Splitting atoms, making war just to take a life. Soldiers marching up to war, another widow wife. Arguments at tables, factions never learn. Storming Normans on the throne, soldiers simply burn. Mental Institute. Mental Institute. Go fight your world war. Forget about the youth. It is a mental institute. It is a mental institute. You see the wall of the golden show. It is a mental institute. It is a mental institute. It is a mental institute. You see the wall of the golden show. It is a mental institute. It is a mental institute. It is a mental institute. You see the wall of the golden show.
Excellent, guys. There we are. Great band. That's Emotional Hooligan. They come from Leeds. That was called Mental Institute. Brilliant. Excellent. We're getting back on the show again. I feel I feel sure. First time ever on television, Mr. Mansfield is actually getting quite hysterical upstairs. He's jumping up and down, shouting, jumping up and down. He hasn't appeared on this programme for ages, has he? We should get him back. Now, before we go to the break, and we're coming back, don't forget, with the brand new game show to TV, let me just remind you, you could win this holiday for 2 people on the island, of course, if you can ring us on 0891900 007 and tell us the name of the horse race later today, the very big horse race, the Grand National, the Derby, or the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Lines are open until midnight on Sunday.
This is nice.
Phone doesn't work.
A little dusty, but it's nice.
Woohoo! So, you guys want to be cowboys, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Drop your pants.
What, in front of the cows?
Just do it.
Now 27 with E17 and D-Ream. 38 of the biggest hits around with Reel to Reel and Ace of Base. Now 27 with Meatloaf and the massive #1 from Chakademus and Pliers. Top chart hits from Dina Carroll and Duke. Wendy Moten, Enigma and Culture Beat. The Cranberries and Capella. Now 27, that's what I call music.
Don't be bored, friends! 8, 9, 8, 27, 27, 27.
Ooh!
Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre has so many delicious combinations, you're never tired of the taste.
Oh no, we've run out of milk.
Don't worry, I've sent George to get some from those French blokes outside.
I'm back.
Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre, you'll never tire of the taste.
Cadbury's Flake, the crumbliest, flakiest milk chocolate in the world.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Now, later today, shut up! Quiet. Thank you very much. Lovely to be appreciated, but going over the top is just a little too much. Grand National, tip from you?
When I last worked on this, there was a loo in the middle of the field, and I was stopped
We don't
from
want
going
your
in
history,
there.
just the tip.
And I was stopped from going in there, and Prince Charles walked out doing up his fly, so it's got to be Romany King, I think.
Romany King, right, okay. And your tip? Your tip? Your tip?
Young Hustler, James.
Young what?
Young Hustler.
It's a shy one, this
Young
one, isn't he?
Hustler.
He doesn't want to talk too much. Young Hustler.
Young Hustler.
Good.
Yeah.
Young Hustler.
That's the
5,
one.
thank you very much indeed. Good. Young Hustler. Mark, goes very well with you, I'm told. Right. Before we carry on, let me just give you, before I introduce you to my friend Jakob here, my tip for the Grand National, I'm not having any part of the sweepstake because I think the Grand National is a very, very nasty race. I think that it's barbaric. My sweepstake in the office this week has been how many horses will be injured after the Grand National? I think about 5 or 6, tragically. What do you think? We'll see. Anyway, please welcome Jakob Magnusson. Jakob is the cultural attaché of Iceland to this country. Am I right? Iceland have a very long history of whaling. I mean, whaling was a very important part of Iceland's culture as well as their living.
Indeed.
But you don't whale now. You haven't whaled for
some time. I mean, we have no immediate plans to do so. We, however, you know, do not agree with the methods Greenpeace are using to, you know, to promote their sometimes good causes, sometimes not so good causes.
Why do you say you do? What part of their method
well, I
don't you
mean,
agree with?
there is. You just showed a clip from a film Greenpeace supposedly have put together as a propaganda tool.
No,
I
that's
think,
that's part of the film that we'll be showing
well,
in
I mean,
total.
you're going to show it on ITV.
Yeah, ITV.
I urge you or ITV to show another film called Rainbow Man, which was produced recently by the Danish Broadcasting Corporation, the State Broadcasting Corporation in Denmark. So very, very accurately accumulated data and information was gathered. And it's quite shocking. And Greenpeace are in big trouble, I tell you right now, because they've been using very dubious methods. And the countries that have showed this film and a couple of other films related to this film, Greenpeace have lost like a third up to half of their subscribers already because they're not ethical. What goes around comes around.
I promise you, we will look into getting that film and showing some clips from it. You can't disagree with me, Jakob, surely, that killing whales is barbaric. The way that it's done is very nasty.
Well, killing anybody is barbaric, isn't it, really? We're lucky the Hindus don't, you know, do a big campaign against killing cows. I mean, the cows are sacred in India. I mean, what would happen to McDonald's and Wimpy's and you know, the whole...
Veggie burgers, I think.
Yeah,
Veggie
really.
burgers.
I mean, the
You're
thing is,
managing quite well not to eat whale, though,
they're-
in Iceland, aren't you? You're
Yes,
managing quite well.
We can well do without it.
Fine.
But there are nations that can't do without it so well. And the real serious matter really is the fact that, I mean, Greenpeace has a formula, very much like this. Create a crisis that needs immediate attention, create a common enemy, and offer a quick, easy solution. It is pay your subscription to Greenpeace. The real targets of Greenpeace now, after the whaling business has been, you know, fairly well organized, and 90% of their income is based on this whaling propaganda, which is falsified to some large degree.
You do agree, though, that whaling had to be curtailed slightly to the way it was going?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But if Greenpeace hadn't come in, nobody would have
there
bothered.
were restrictions on whaling decades before Greenpeace was ever founded. And it's a common misunderstanding that Greenpeace all of a sudden discovered that whales were going to become extinct. It was the whalers themselves. Who's going to be more concerned about the ecology of the, you know, the marine than the whalers themselves, the fishermen themselves? And the real target of Greenpeace now, I tell you, are the fishermen.
What has happened?
It's common commercial fishing that's now being targeted, and that's serious business.
What I'm going to try and do, Jakob, is ask Greenpeace if they will come and debate this with you on the programme. They wouldn't tonight, but maybe they will on a later programme.
I hope so.
We will take, for the moment, that. I want to go on a little bit and ask you, the whaling fleet in Iceland, I've been there, I've seen it. It's tied up, long line of whaling ships.
Yep.
They haven't been used for a number of years.
A lot of people out of work.
What are you going to do with them?
With the ships?
Are they going to stay there? Will you go back to whaling, do you think, or not?
I don't think we're going to go back to commercial whaling as such, but the scientific committee of the International Whaling Commission, International Whaling Committee, have decided and proven that the minke whale, for instance, they are out of proportion now, and they are so far from, you know, being an endangered species that it's ridiculous of the International Whaling Commission not to listen to that argument. But they won't listen to any argument because it's become very political.
But the whole point is that it is a very nasty, it's not like killing beef. It is a very barbaric way of killing an animal.
The average time of killing a whale is like any other animal. I mean, sometimes it will take longer, admittedly, but it's any killing will take a few seconds, sometimes a little longer. And that's the exception. It's a common misunderstanding, unfortunately.
Okay, I think it takes a little longer than a couple of seconds. If you have a view on that, then get in touch with me, and we'll ask Jakob back. But the good thing is that Jakob has agreed to come and appear on the programme and talk about the other side, which is difficult to get. So please thank him, and we'll talk about it at another time next week's programme. Right. Gary! Where are you, Gary?
I'm over here, James.
We've got about 2 minutes. Carry on, Gary. Get on with it.
Well,
Go
James,
for the first letter. Go on.
Well, we've got one letter.
Yep.
In fact, I think we can deal with this on its own. Somebody has written saying, given that the police are human beings and therefore fallible...
Sorry, my fault.
...and therefore fallible, would you be able to generalise as to when you should respond no comment? I believe if you are innocent, it's better first to get a solicitor. Well, it's written in by somebody called Alan McKee from North Allerton in North Yorkshire. It's a genuine letter, a very short letter, and I think it's a very serious subject. I think that when anybody is arrested and is told by a policeman in a police station that they have certain rights, one of which is to have the advice of a solicitor, that they would be daft to decline it, because the thing that they are told is that that advice is free, and that is free to everybody, regardless of their income, regardless of their capital. They are entitled to speak free to a solicitor on the telephone in private.
But what about when the police also tell you, we can get you a solicitor, but it might take a couple of hours to get them?
Well, that's always a shorter wait than the couple of years that you could spend behind bars thinking, I wish I'd waited that couple of hours for a solicitor. Yeah. The important thing is when a solicitor arrives, he does not automatically tell you to make no comment. It is often the case that a person should comment, they should answer the questions that are put to them, and in fact very often the case. Solicitors are not simply there to hamper the police either. They're only there to advise no comment when no comment is in the interest of the person being questioned. But you won't know if it's in your interest to make no comment unless and until you seek and obtain legal advice. So I say to anybody arrested, get a solicitor.
Gary, thank you very much indeed.
You're very welcome.
Okay, no, we haven't got time for applause. Come back and do more next week. This is the address. Get a shot of it. Basil, move just to the side. Get a shot of that. If you'd like to write to us about anything on the programme, whaling, or to Gary, or to anything else, please, that is it. Now, for the final part of the programme, I thought everybody's doing quiz shows, so we're going to do a quiz show as well. Danny, are you all right? Yeah. You're in charge of the dice, dear. Here, catch. Okay, this is Danny, the hostess, and... Every quiz show, I'm over here, every quiz show has to have a voiceover to begin the show. And this is Chris, he's going to be our voiceover. It looks like a voiceover, doesn't he? He does. Is that? But listen to him speak. He's got a great say, hello.
Hello, James.
Fantastic, isn't that good? He's going to do the voiceover. These are the contestants down here, okay? Right, so first of all, do the introduction. Here we go.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Grin and Bear It. And here's your host, James Whale.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Grin and Bear It. We have our 4 contestants in the front of the audience. Are you well? Are you? Lovely to see you. Right, great. We get a good shot of that. Please welcome our hostess with the mostess, Danielle. Okay, right. Now, I think you will... bear with me, we probably won't get time to do this. Danielle, the whole thing, Grin and Bear It, is that you get the dice, give her the dice, you throw the dice, throw it and we'll explain as we go along. There we are, get a little shot of the dice. It's a number 6! Now, number 6 prop. We have a number 6 prop. Come on, number 6, that's the dog. Thank you very much indeed. Bring the dog over here, that is yours. Hold that. Are you okay at the moment? Good, okay. The 3 of you, Danielle, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. What was your name?
Donna.
Donna, right. Donna and Daniel, right. Donna, now you have to make them laugh within 15 seconds. If either or any of you laugh, you lose a life. Is that understood? You lose a life. Right. Have you got the timer? Uh-huh. You get 15 seconds. When I give you, you pick a card. You're getting this at home, aren't you? You are nothing must make you laugh. Is that understood? Yeah. You are not to laugh. Do you understand? Not a grin. If you grin, you lose a life. You only have 3 lives. Understood? I've only got 2 minutes, so we'll probably have to ask you to come back next week. You choose a card. Give it to me. Okay. Here's the card. And the card is domination. Domination. You get 15 seconds to dominate that dog here, in the middle of... And when the timer goes over, and if they... shut up about cue the timer. If they laugh here, you have won, all right? Okay. Right, okay, cue the timer, and let's have a look. If anybody laughs, you've lost. Go for it, go on. Dominate the hell out of that dog. Go on. Oh, you're not smiling, are you? Look, you're smiling. Let's have a look here. Let's get in here. Look. There's who's smiling here? Who's smiling? Has it finished? Another few seconds. Over here. Smiling. Look. Smiling. He's definitely smiling. Look at this. Oh, you've lost her life. Well done. Give her a nice round of applause. Did you enjoy that? Okay. We'll be back next week with another edition of Grin and Bear It and everything else. Have a nice weekend. 1 minute. You tell me we're coming to the end of the programme. We've got 1 minute. 1 minute. Right. Get the horse in. Okay. What?
What am I meant to do with the horse?
What do you want to do with the horse?
What do I got to do with the horse?
Dominate the horse. Dominate the horse. Dominate the horse. Dominate the horse. Yep, can't. Out. No, you'll get done. What do you mean whack it? You can't whack the horse. You'll get done if you whack the horse. Dominate the horse. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I don't want to be involved in the Grand National. I've got a nasty spot on my nose. We will be next week. We will do the quiz again. My birthday is on the 13th of May. If you wanted to send me a present or something like that. Okay. So we'll see you later. I love you all. Go on, get rid of it.